The answer key for 923 for 8th grade. And first we're going to start with the warm-up. So the warm-up is going to be these two problems. And number one is going to say, John takes out a loan for $2,000 and has to pay the bank back at 5% simple interest for 10 years. What will be his total payment at the end of 10 years? So we're going to look at a couple clues that it gives us in here, and I'm going to underline them. So we know we have $2,000, we have 5% simple interest, and our time is going to be 10 years. And almost more importantly, we're going to look at the question, what it's asking for. It's asking for the total payment. So since we're using simple interest, I'm going to write the formula down. Interest for simple interest is going to equal PRT. What PRT means is the principal times the rate times the time. And the principal is the amount of money we put in, the rate is the percentage, and the time is that 10 years. So I'm just going to rewrite this formula. The interest will equal 2,000. And so we know it's 5%, but we have to change that to a decimal, so times 0.05 times 10. And it's okay if we use our calculator for this. We're just going to go ahead and punch those numbers in. So I'm going to take a minute to go ahead and do that. So 2,000 times 0.05 times 10. And that will give us 1,000. So our interest is going to be $1,000. And interest is the word that means how much is it going to grow. So it's going to grow by $1,000. So if he starts at 2, so this formula gives us our interest. But we're not looking for the interest. We're looking for the total payment. So if we start at 2,000 and it grows by 1,000, how can we find the total payment? Well, we're going to have to put those together. So his total payment is going to be $3,000. All right, and lastly, for number 2, we're going to do F2 if you're at home. We're going to go down to solve. And we're going to enter this equation. Once we're done, we're going to make sure we do comma, X, and then close the parentheses. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. TI-89 simulator. And we're just going to do that together. So I'm turning it on. F2. We're going to solve. And it says x plus 8 equals 5x minus 1. So x plus 8 equals 5x minus 1, comma, x, and we're going to close that parentheses. So we're going to get x is equal to 9/4. And that's all we had to do for that problem. X is going to be equal to 9/4. All right, so here's our answer for number 1 on the warm-up. Here's our answer for number 2 on the warm-up. So parents, make sure we're checking it. If they ended up getting just 1,000 for number 1, ask yourself, what were you supposed to find? Well, you were supposed to find the total payment, but you only found the interest. So to find the total payment, we got to take how much we started with and add in the interest. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and clear this out, and we're going to do our work for today. So we're going to go ahead and do the odds, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. All right, and if you saw that your student was really good at this, solved it without a problem, that's good. But if your student watched the lesson, ended up getting the wrong answers for these, then go ahead and after you correct them and show them again, make them watch the video again, maybe fix that misconception of what they did, then go ahead and have them do maybe 2, 4, and 6 for you and demonstrate that they were able to do it. All right, so we're going to start with number 1, and we see these points right here. These are the points that we're using, all right? And we can see that when we draw it out, we're going to have that triangle, all right? And so we're going to do our rise over run. How much does it go up? Goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so our rise is 4. And our run, how much does it go over? Over 1 over 2. So our slope is 4 over 2, which simplifies just to 2. And the next step we want to do is we want to do the y-intercept. Well, we see where's it going to cross the y-intercept, or the y-axis? That's going to be at -3. So we can actually write this whole equation. Y equals 2x, 2x because that's our slope, and then our y-intercept, -3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do number 3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try number 3. So we're looking at this point and this point. So we're going to check the rise over the run. So the rise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our slope would just be 7 over 5. All right, we're going to go ahead and do number 5. So we see our 2 points here. So we're going to draw our triangle so we could see it. Our rise is going to be 1, 2, 3. And our run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our slope is going to be 3/5. All right. Now we're going to go to 7. All right, we see our point here and here, and we're going to take a look at it. Our rise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our run is going to be 2. So that would simplify to 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And I want to take another look at this one, and we can see we have another little triangle right here too. So let's check the rise and run for this one. We go up 1, up 2, up 3, and we went over 1. So we can see these triangles, the drawing's not pretty, but the triangles were similar. They're the same shape. They're just different sizes. One's a little bit bigger, but they simplify out to the same thing. They both come out to a slope of 3. And lastly, we're going to do this one. Our rise is just going to be 1, and our run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 over 6. And so that's what we're going to be doing for these problems. We're just finding the slope. And it's going to be really hard to tell the y-axis for these, or the y-intercept for these, because unless they're crossing perfectly, we're not going to be able to tell just by looking at it. We'll have to do a formula. But we can see that the y-intercept for this one, even though we're not doing it right now, would be 3 because that's exactly where it crosses. And the y-intercept for this one would be -3. All right, we know this one, it looks like it would be, I can't really tell if it's exactly on 2, but it looks like it's either on 2 or pretty close to it. So we know it would be somewhere around 2. All right, so that's our work that we're checking for today. So let's go ahead and make sure that we check that. And if we weren't able to get it, go ahead and have us do a couple more problems. Do 4, 6, 2, and then see if we can get that mastered.